So the one with the best taste is back once again, this time talking about shit that came out this year. Now that we got our year-end lists out of the way, I am going to focus more about albums that are coming out in 2021. Both good and bad, but in this video I want to talk about some of the best hip-hop albums that have come out in January 2021. But before we do that, don't forget to hit the like button, subscribe to the channel if you're new. Also, don't forget to follow me on Instagram and Twitter, as well as my SoundCloud. I will be releasing my EP soon this year on that platform. I apologize for the delay. I know I was supposed to drop it this month. I was supposed to drop it in January, but I will be dropping it in February. And when it does drop, it will be worth the wait. I promise you. I'll keep all of you updated. So let's get right into this video, man. So the first album that I want to talk about is Smoke DZA and his label RFC with Money Is the Motive, Part 1. Now, this album is amazing from start to finish. Smoke DZA is a very underrated MC who is incredibly talented and had amazing projects last year, Homegrown and A Closed Mouth Don't Get Fed. Both were amazing albums, but they didn't really make my year-end list because they weren't masterpieces. There were still a few things that lacked consistency. But that being said, this album is better than both of those combined. The production is clean, the guest features contribute equally, and Smoke DZA himself was clean on here. His delivery is like a perfect mix between Pusha T and sort of like Jadakiss in a way, which is almost relatable because both Jada and Smoke are from New York. But anyway, his bars are nicely constructed as well. In terms of technicality, he has some dope rhyme patterns, his flows fit well on the beats that he raps over, and moving into the beats, they are masterfully produced. And yeah, some of these beats sound like they have mainstream/commercial appeal, but they don't sound bad compared to the insane amount of horse shit that we got last year, and thank God for that. These beats go hard off the motherfucking paint, especially on the song Last Man Standing. Like the way the main instrumental sets the tone and then those 808s and drums come in, that easily got my adrenaline going. I was like, oh hell yeah. That track also had an amazing guest feature from Corey Gunz, who none of the casual losers with bad taste will recognize despite the fact that he was on one of Lil Wayne's biggest songs of the 2010s. Yes, I'm talking about 6 Foot 7 Foot. And Corey Gunz was nuts on that track and pretty much saved that track from being utter garbage. Like, y'all were more focused on that line where Wayne said real G's move in silence like lasagna rather than the whole guest verse that Corey Gunz spat out. Like, y'all should be ashamed of your fucking selves for not giving him the credit he deserves. Meanwhile, you made Wayne more relevant, and the last time he was ever good was like in 2007. Let's keep it a rack. Anyway, back to the album. Corey Gunz isn't the only guest feature on here. Conway the Machine, bitch! Shows up on the song Lavish, and he went harder on that joint than a weed addict who hit his first blunt in 5 years. Let's keep it a buck. But yeah, dope reception that Smoke is getting too. He currently has 1.1 million monthly listeners on Spotify, and he's been rapping for at least a decade, if not longer than that. And that shows that there is still hope, even in the dark age of hip-hop. Next album that I want to talk about, which is the second best hip-hop album to come out in January, is Nick Caution with Anywhere But Here. Now, Nick Caution is another dope rapper that almost reminds me of J. Cole in a way. Not that he has the exact same style as J. Cole, but it does give those vibes that I fucking get from some, tracks. But yeah, this album is fucking awesome. There's a plethora of tracks to kick back to and relax to, chill to, fall asleep to, smoke a blunt to, such as How to Live It with Joey Badass and Things Could Be Worse with CJ Fly, as well as some energetic bangers on here, such as Bad Day with Denzel Curry. Speaking of which, the guest features on here are wonderful and are paired nicely with Nick Caution and the production as well. They fit their styles, and they definitely did not disappoint. I forgot to mention Coda the Friend on Product of My Environment. He was dope on there as well. He dropped an EP this year as well called Lyrics to Go Volume 2, a sequel to his last Lyrics to Go project that dropped last year. That project was dope. Second one is dope, if not even more dope. The skits were entertaining too. I love the skits on Anywhere But Here. Nick's lyricism is on point. It's impossible to not find anything wrong with this album. So what other album that did come out this year topped it? Well, So, the final hip hop album that I want to talk about, which I consider this to be the greatest hip hop album that came out in January 21, and that is 13 and Pharoah Monch with A Magnificent Day for an Exorcism. This album, wow, this album is completely flawless. I wouldn't be surprised if this made it to my if this would make it to my fucking year-end list of 2021 if that comes out. But yeah, that this album is just straight fire. It amazed me. I knew who Pharoah Monch was because he's a dope rapper, but 13 I had no clue. Apparently this was a collaboration project with Pharoah Monch and a band called 13 who consisted of three people. One of them was playing, I think bass guitar, one was playing electric guitar, and the other one was playing drums. And hearing Pharoah Monch on this was absolutely just, I don't know, it was blissful. Like, I heard Pharoah Monch before when he dropped the album PTSD like around 6 years ago, and that album was a gem and a half to listen to. But this album might be even better. This album one-ups everything in January, like, and it might just one-up everything in February. I mean, Conway might drop 2 projects this month, but we'll wait to see. But yeah, the album kicks off with Colt 45, which is a brilliant play on words with Colt 45, the gun and shit, and Colt, like an actual Colt, and then 45 because this is actually a hidden reference to Donald Trump being the 45th president, and how his followers, they're like, a cult. But even though I don't really necessarily agree with the political content on here, I can admire what he's saying. As long as there are like a lot of fucking, skill involved, then yeah, I can forgive it. And then The Magician is just a straight banger, really nice track. It's very energetic, adrenaline pumping, great track for the whip, great track for the gym. I love how those fucking guitars kick in, and then he raps fast as fuck. And then you have words like 666, 3 6-word stories, Goat's Head, Scarecrow, Fight with Cypress Hill, Racist, Oxygen, Kill 'Em All Again, The Exorcist, Amnesia, and the final track, Kill, 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 with the Smiths in it. Like, the entire album is just amazing from start to finish. I love the rap rock crossover. I mean, not that this was revolutionary before. I mean, Linkin Park, I enjoyed listening to them when I grew up. Like, when I was a child, I would always listen to, like, metal and alternative rock and all that shit, symphonic black metal. But around the age of 13 is when I got into hip-hop. And, wow, this song was like a callback album. It almost gave me, like, Rage Against the Machine vibes. And it was like, I just thought, if this album was like, I'm sorry, I'm at a loss for words of how fucking amazing this album is. If there was a way to get Zach De La Roche, the frontman from Rage Against the Machine, on here, at least one track, as if this album wasn't already a masterpiece, can you imagine if he got Zach De La Roche on one of these 13 songs? That would be the song of the fucking year. I know it's only February, and this is only like, this was the best album of January, at least for rap and hip-hop, but I don't care. That would be song of the year if he got Zach De La Roche, the frontman of Rage Against the Machine, on one of these joints. That would be dope as fuck. That would be a dope callback. But yeah, that's all I'm going to talk about. Don't forget, my name is K9 Senses, the one with the best taste, aka the high-minded adept. Once again, if I already didn't say it at the start of the video, I will be saying it again. I have been recording joints as of recently. I'll be releasing a 7-track EP in February. Don't really have a specific date, but I'll keep it posted. Just make sure to follow me on my Instagram or Twitter to get further updates. And yeah, it's been K9 Senses. Catch y'all later.